First step.
Well, what I like
When you have the clean demi-johns, right? Then what's the next step?
everything we do, we got to keep everything clean.
Okay.
The first step is to make sure that the demi-johns are sanitized and clean. The second step, I like to go in, I like to add the wood chips or the dust or any other products that you want to give it flavor on a woodsy level.
How is
The
it,
second level that I would do, I would add the sugar, which actually, once again,
Is that okay,
it
Mike?
creates alcohol. Then the third one would be to put
The juice in.
the yeast.
Oh, the yeast.
Then after the yeast, I then start adding the juices.
All right, so we're at the, actually in the, are we gonna finish this one first? And then we'll go from there.
Okay. Carmen,
See?
I'd like to propose a toast. Here's to new friends. Here's to old friends. Here's to the best of friends. And here's to the friends that can't be here with us this evening. I miss each and every one of them. I like that. You know?
Cheers.
Drink up. Drink up.
Salute. Salute,
Hey,
see?
Carmen, here's to you too. All right, thanks for joining us. Your wine's right there. Come on, what are you going to do, Angel?
She's got a bone to pick with you. Hold on.
What'd I do? I added a couple pieces of wood.
Oh, you already put the wood, let's see what the wood looks like here.
A piece of wood,
Okay,
and I
so-
got the oak chips.
So that simulates the fact that it's it would be in an oak barrel per
We're
se.
trying to fool Mother Nature.
Okay.
All right. So
And you-
right in the hole.
Mike, hit that.
Sometimes I have to shake it through.
And there's really no exact measurement, you're just gonna split it across all the
Correct. We
barrels.
try to just eyeball everything. All right.
And normally you at home would take a cast iron skillet and you would actually,
Well, like that's going a little extra. I would get the oak chips and put them in a cast iron skillet. I would cook them. They would turn real nice and burnt, and then I would put them in. That would be
Like a
little more
charred-
similar.
inside of a charred
right, but
barrel.
That's if you want it to be real rich, dark,
Okay.
and woodsy. You don't
Okay.
do that with the white wine.
all right, so here we got the yeast.
We got the yeast.
So now we got this yeast is gonna be enough for the demijohn and the carboy. It's gonna be enough for
So here we go.
3 6-gallons.
Pour it in. I save a little. 'Cause I'm gonna put it in here. All right, Mike, do me a favor, buddy. Put a little bit more water in there.
Cool.
Yes, please. Yeast don't activate itself in hot water. Kills it.
Warm water
Warm
activates it.
water. It's well. This is good kind of temperature. But if you turn around and you put hot water,
It kills the
Shuts it
yeast.
down.
Okay.
so we're good there.
Nobody, how about that?
The juice, we want to start filling it, but I want to put some in there as well. So we have 1, 2, so we're good. We may still need another carboy.
We have three. We have three. Three total.
Yeah. They're in the hallway.
Oh, okay, good enough. All right, let's go. We're good with that. Let me take a sip.
All right. Need to do that before we go. All right. Now this is all the demijohns.
Now this is wine has tannins, and when you go to a restaurant, a wine steward would come up to you, or I don't know what the captain, and he'd come over and he'd make you taste it. He usually pours the first sip or the first pour in a funnel that's aerated with holes in it, and it has a circular band on it. So when the wine goes through it, the wine goes in and out all the holes. What that does is the tannins, which you don't see, are like invisible bubbles. Each one that's broke are filled with flavor. So what happens is that when you go to drink it, you give it more flavor.
Mike, you paying
in your
attention?
wine. So that's why when I get it, I'll shake it.
He's talking about the wine bouquet.
Thank
Right,
you,
right,
Michael.
right. Okay.
I'm happy that you're here. Okay.
Jesus Christ,
Okay, we're
this-
good. Let me go
It's
to
a
the next thing.
plethora of information here.
All right, so we have to.
What's the next step?
We're gonna fill this. We're gonna try to get as much in as possible, and just so when you first pick it up,
Right.
you should go right in. It doesn't drip. If you hold
Okay,
it too long,
I got you.
It'll drip. So you lift it in, right there, hold it, boom, right inside. No mess. So who was doing this, just out of curiosity?
Well, we picked up the whole barrel. We picked up the whole jug.
Well, now you gotta watch just so you know, when you pick up the whole barrel,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean the whole bucket, and you go to pour it in. You always got to make sure that you let oxygen out, because if you don't,
Right. That was Carmen's job. So that it
this
was.
is what will happen. It'll suck the funnel in tight, no gas is kicking out. It'll burst a hole the size of a softball and you'll lose
into the
everything.
Demijohn.
That's why we buy. I have to get the other one for Carmen. It has the indentation of the band.
So
it's the oxygen out.
I'll pick that up the next time I'm down there.
Did I tell you to get that one?
Well, they had a huge funnel down there. All right, so you hold that, and then we'll grab the bucket and pour it in.
I'm making it easy.
All right. And this is the dark red Zinfandel that we're making right here.
The dark red is wonderful because that can be easily blended with other reds, and the Merlot is also a good candidate for blending. They tell you not to mix them and blend them in the fermentation process. They tell you to make them separate, and then after it's done, blend it then. Supposedly it gives it way more flavor.
In other words, it's the sangria effect.
Well, you know what, Michael? It could be. I'm not certain what that effect is, but I do appreciate that. I'll have to look that up.
Sounds good though. Sounds proper.
All right, who's doing this?
All right,
Let me move this.
come on.
Now, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to pour, and when you get half of that in there, we have to go into the 5 gallon. Because it's easier to handle this with the 5 gallon.
Right.
Because it's lighter. When it's heavier, you got more of a problem. Because we're not going to use the little funnel. We'll use this, and we'll casually work it in. So go ahead. You guys do your thing.
Unbelievable teamwork here.
Go slow. Go slow. Now, let me say one thing. No, stop it. When you pour it, don't pour it in the hole. Pour it here because it'll work its way around. It sometimes keeps the center, the eye of the storm, open. So watch it go in a circular fashion. On the rim, closer to your left. All right, see, it'll start working its way around. See? Okay. Now look inside. Let me see what you got. All right, we're going to pour that in there.
We're gonna do
Tap
it.
it down, Carm, to get the loose juices. Tap it on the bottom.
And because there's 6 gallon jugs, the Demijohn's only what, 14 and
14 and a half.
14 and a half.
And we don't fill them to 14 and a half.
Right,
We
so-
just fill it to-
so the extra goes
We may
in.
fill it 14 or a little less because what happens is when it ferments, it percolates and bubbles. And what happens if you fill it too high, it just shoots out all over the place. You fill it lower, it gives it a chance. Now go slow with it. You know, this is see, we don't have the right funnel for the carbonated.
And this is next year's wine, obviously, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, time-wise?
It'll take 45 days to be wine.
45. That's not bad.
45 days. The first 2 weeks are the fermentation process of the percolations.
Right.
And then once that's kind of done, I come back in and when I was showing them this,
Is it with the bottom of that?
you don't have to ever cover it fully with the stopper.
Right.
Because, yes, stir it up, make sure you get all the yeast. When you plug this in the hole and you
Right.
put water in here, now all of a sudden you close the door on it.
You sealed it.
Now, as gases are percolating, what happens is the problem is that if one of those little pieces of wood gets stuck in there,
Right.
it doesn't let gas out.
Right.
So pressure starts to build in there. All right? And that could create it to burst as well. So when you fill it with water, you just kind of sit it on top like
Right.
that. So if gases push out, they just if gases come out, they'll push this out. They'll knock it over, and you're good. Normally, when they first would do the wine, they would get like a piece of cardboard and cover this, like almost
Yeah.
2/3 on. You just want it to percolate freely,
Right,
and that's why you got these buckets underneath because it pours in there.
How many years are you doing this, Ann?
More than I'd like to say,
Yeah.
you know. So
But you learned it from your.
I got it. My grandfather did it with my father. My father gave me all his tips.
Right.
When they made wine, their wine was like hit or miss.
Right.
Old school, not a lot of stuff. Wines have different
Right.
components in them now to keep them fresh and so on and so forth. So, but back in the day, whatever came out, they drank. If it was good, it was big.
They put the juice in and that was it.
Well, yeah, they didn't use sulfites, which I don't recommend to do. Sulfites are used to clean the containers.
Right.
Sulfites are also used, like for instance, when the wine's done and you need to take it out, you put sulfites in the wine and that kills the yeast.
Yeah.
And that gives you headaches.
Right, yeah, that-
So I don't do that. I let it sit and then I aerate it,
Right.
like bromo seltzer,
Right.
and from one bucket to another. So I pour it back and forth, and what that does is that actually takes the carbonation out of it.
Yeah.
We're going to flatten a bottle of
I got
soda.
you.
So you
Yeah.
keep shaking it, open
Right,
the lid.
right.
Keep doing it.
You're killing the yeast that way.
You kill the carbonation, and you're putting the yeast to bed.
Right,
This
okay.
bottle, this glass right here, does that have sulfates in it?
No,
Wonderful.
no. I refuse to use them.
Okay.
I don't even put,
I applaud that.
I use it if I have to, you know what you use if you need it to really? You get a little cap full of Joella water, which is Clorox.
Right.
A very little bit, you pour it in and you put hot water, you shake it around, you pour it out, you rinse it, because a little bit of Clorox.
Another glass, please.
Right. Right.
You know,
Now,
so,
have you ever tried making it
With a wood barrel.
Thank you, Mike.
It's always been just.
the only thing I have a problem with wood barrels is,
Yeah.
of course,
It's costly. It's costly.
Well, here's what happens. Wood barrels are recommended. They don't get any better than that. Well, wood barrels are cumbersome and it takes a lot of manpower.
Right.
A lot of work. They don't fit into every basement
Right. I
anymore.
get that. I totally
You know, the cellar gates when you open them, it's just the right size to get the wood barrel down. They have a shelf life of maybe 4 years,
Right.
if you're lucky, 5. 3 years is the optimal use of it, and then you got to go out and spend another $300.
Is that what they're
Oh, they vary. You get a new one or you get a used one.
Right,
There
right.
isn't a fluctuation that much between a new one
Yeah.
and now you get a new one. You got to do the work inside of it. You get a
Right,
used
you gotta
one.
seal it and
They're
stuff
from the
like-
whiskey company,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they're
yeah.
already seasoned. It's like a
Right.
nice piece of roast pork that's been cleaned, deboned.
Right.
You know, all the tendons out, seasoned, wrapped real nice. It's beautiful, but they start to fall apart. These are old ones. And when you
Oh,
start
yeah.
to
Oh,
fuck,
there it is.
when you start to fool around with it, what happens is that they implode on themselves because it's old. It's
Right.
you know, it's seen better days.
Right.
You know, the glass you could use over and over
Right,
and
you
over.
clean it out,
The only
clean it
problem
up
with
again.
that is that they're fragile.
Right.
You know, you can put a carboy down and just make it touch the ground, boom, it
Right.
shatters.
That's all your wine.
You use this, and the year or two ago they were picking it up to put it on. It slightly hit something, boom, it shattered. So you know all the money that you spent gone out
Gone.
the door.
All right. So we got another bucket to
All
go.
right, so yeah,
Right there. That one last bucket right there.
this one's open.
That's open. We just got to
Okay.
pop the lid.
Now these here also, you could make wine in these.
Right.
These have a fermentation nipple, but when you turn around and you want the process of the wine cooking, I would take the nipple out. And then when it's after a couple, like 2 weeks, I would put the nipple back in. So that keeps the oxygen out and it lets the gases flow through. I've known individuals that just use these. Good, bad, once
Right,
again, indifferent,
right,
whatever it is, but it's not the
right.
way to do it.
Right, right,
Okay?
Now you're also going to show us how when you put the
So
wood.
you watch, this gets. We're washing this off?
Yeah, we'll
anywhere?
take that and put it in the kitchen. Let me pause this for 1 sec.
I get it.
What we got? What?
There you got
The
it.
lid.
Yeah,
The lid.
Mike, you?
And I'm watching
See,
it.
sometimes I think
Take it all in.
that I
No,
can
no.
gauge
All right.
how
All right,
much of
everybody
the
got
wine,
Formula.
how much it's
Right,
already,
right,
you know,
correct,
fermented. When you sometimes stick the ladle in it, if it touches
My grandfather made it.
the wine and you start to stir it, you'll
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that there's a possibility.
Start to
Oh,
bubble.
yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
And you gotta be careful because that can overflow. So I pull the ladle out.
Who was that? It was, who was that episode with the?
So what this tells me is that
You're waking
this
this
is
thing
in this is in the meat and potatoes
An episode of
of
the-
it's
I don't know if
ready
it's
to go.
Honeymooners
No,
or-
the Lucy.
Yeah, I love Lucy. That's
So
it.
what I'll do is I'm going to put this here and we're going to ladle out a couple of ladles full, get it lower, then get in and stir it.
Okay.
Stirring it allows us to
Right,
mix
right, right.
all the sediment, which has the natural yeasts, and you want it to be evenly poured amongst your bottles.
Excellent.
Okay,
All right.
so.
Here we go.
Now what I did is I touched a lot of stuff, so I'm
So
going
you're
to
gonna
wash
send-
my hands.
there you go.
Now,
All right.
keep washing your hands. It's very, very important. Cleanliness is
It's important to the
Very important.
process of making wine.
you know, there's a couple other things in reference to cleanliness when you're aerating it from one bucket to another. Let's just say, for instance, it's hot and you're sweating. Let's say a bead of sweat falls into the wine. You may not realize it if you drink it right then and there, but if you let it sit and you drink it later, the sweat being salty could go in there and ruin it.
All right.
So
That's why we need a set of bandanas.
we need bandanas. Okay.
That's why the Mexicans do this really well.
Okay, ready?
You might have just worked this enough.
So you're just basically bringing up.
I'm just trying to stir it to make it even.
Wow.
All right, this is ready to pour in.
Now,
Mike?
just so you know, well, here's the thing. Now, this is where the examples are. No, when the fermentation process, is working, if you fill it up here,
It's-
it overflows. You want to try to keep it somewhere further down. So I'm going to just fill it with this. We don't even have to pick this up. And then this is ready to just be capped with putting the stopper and the vessel just on top. Let it sit on top. You see all the wood chips on top?
Yeah.
Where are the wood chips?
They're all sitting on the top.
And then the rest is going to go in the carboy.
Right. Now I'm
Oh,
only
yeah,
going to
I
add,
see.
this is it.
I see.
All right, we're done.
How come they didn't make a 16-gallon dummy, John?
Now what we'll do is we're going to put a little bit of this in there, and then we're going to clean. Carmen, is this one clean?
Yeah.
This one's clean?
Which one?
They clean them all, weren't they?
No, I got two brand new ones out
All
there.
right, let's go ahead and get them. And they got to be rinsed off. Carboys.
Hold on. So what you're saying is you're going to do a blend with the carboys.
Well, we have not much other choices because I don't want to turn around and fill one too low. So I'm going to fill them to the proper level.
Okay.
And just as long as you have 75% of the wine and 25% of a different wine, it doesn't ruin the integrity of what you're making. So if you were to turn around and have 75% of Cabernet Sauvignon and you put in 25% of Merlot, it really doesn't screw up the integrity of the Cabernet. You know, so we're
and you're
good
creating
that
your
way.
own blend.
Right. But the thing is that when we go to fill it, this may come down to here. I'm only going to use the filler to bring it back up to here and seal it.
Okay.
And then that's done.
Okay.
So it's not going to ruin the integrity of it.
All right.
You know, so I don't have a problem blending them in there. It's okay.
And the carboys.
Yeah. You know, if we lived in a more perfect world, you would think you would have something that would fit exactly what you had left over. See, I have 5s and 3s. I wanted to call you back and say get a couple, get 2.
I coulda got 'em, yeah.
Carboys, they're perfect. These fit right in it. You know,
But you want the level to be all the way near the top, is what you're saying.
after it's fermented, after the 45 days, then I'll cap it off. You put the stopper back in, and then you just let it sit. You could drink it, but the more it sits, the more it ages.
Okay. Hold on.
We're done with filling it to the right level.
Okay, so that's the right level.
We added water to the vessel. We got it attached to the stopper. We're simply going to lay it on top, very gently. All right, and that just keeps it covered. But if you were to turn around and have it plugged, there's a good chance that
Look at
it'll
that.
start percolating.
So that
means
that
it's-
wine's
it's-
working.
It's alive. Your wine is actually turning into wine.
Now, Ed,
so
if
what
you
we're going to
left
do
that,
is we're
what
going
would
to
happen?
pluck it. Say that again.
If you left that like that, what would happen?
There's
And
a
if it's-
possibility.
This is what's going to
If you left
happen.
that tight on there.
Here's what happens.
We can't correct the
We put yeast in here, so the yeast
But
is
you
now
know
going
that I
to,
was
over the
like
course
you
of the night and
for
the next
tonight.
day or two,
No, I didn't.
it's going to start cooking. So you'll see the juices will flow upward and down into the center. You'll see it rotating. So if a piece of wood gets stuck underneath, because this is pushed in too far, it'll create too much pressure and it'll blow the bottle.
It'll blow. It might break the glass.
It'll break the glass. So you want to keep it on loose. So if it does over percolate, it'll just pull.
You just don't want to let air in.
right.
I'm not a rap. I've learned to push stars in tight.
Ours is okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Your fermentation
beyond that
is
stage.
done. Now you could actually, if you wanted to, I know you wanted to add sugar.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's up
we
to you.
can do that.
All right.
Okay. All right.
For it.
All right. So what we're going to do is
now this is going to be
I'm going to add just a little bit more yeast.
okay.
Just a little bit more. All right, that's done there. And I'm going to go into the new one
Okay.
and add some. All right, Mike, can you put more water in there, bud?
Okay.
All right. Now these are washed, right?
They're washed.
Okay. Good enough. Oh, you know what?
Mr. Bianca, I'll fill it up with it.
No, it's all right.
Hey, Aunt,
I'm looking for.
hold on.
Yes, sir.